And we continue at 1:06 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wang's in Culver City.
John, nearly 60 days after becoming the mayor of Oakland, Barbara Lee Speaks for Me finally sat down and did an interview.
Quite frankly.
And when she was asked about her plan to help with public safety, it sure sounds a lot like Shang Tao 2.0.
Well, what we're doing is making sure that the Department of Violence Prevention and our ceasefire are fully funded. We were able in the budget to ensure that the funding was there so that we can have life coaches to be able to reach out to those 250 individuals who we know who are high risk in terms of either committing crimes or being the, victims of crime. So
it's almost word for word the same thing Shang Tao is saying.
We know the 250 people in Oakland that are constantly shooting at each other, and we've hired some new life coaches.
How about this? Throw them in jail.
Oh, we can't do that.
Not Barbara Lee.
Oakland had a choice. They could have gone with Lauren Taylor, but no, they said, yes, this is what we want for mayor.
quite frankly.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Well, this next one is almost so outrageous. On its face value, it's easy to say this can't be true. But, Randy, it is.
There is a building in Oakland where a lot of elderly people live that are now trapped in their building because the elevator hasn't been working for some time.
You don't say.
For this, we get ABC 7 in the Bay Area's incredible investigative reporter, Dan Noyes.
Mosser is one of the largest housing providers in Northern California. There's no excuse.
The elevator has been out of service for more than a month at this 6-story apartment building near Lake Merritt in Oakland.
That's a lot of stairs.
Imagine being 90 and expected to walk the stairs.
And some residents feel trapped, especially the elderly in wheelchairs living on the higher floors. Good evening, I'm Anna Dates.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining.
Isn't that like a massive violations of the ADA?
You know what's funny is if you have a restaurant, mom and pop, and there is some ambulance chaser that runs around suing restaurants because they violate the ADA, and you either have to pay the ransom or you have to spend $1 gazillion to fix your restaurant, they come after you like nobody's business. But you have a building like this where the elevator's down for months on end. The building is filled with elderly residents or people who are in wheelchairs, and nobody cares. It's amazing.
If you've got a soap dispenser that's higher than 4 feet, you know you're getting sued. This guy, nothing.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. The residents have been unable to get answers from the company that owns that building.
Yes, so of course they contacted ABC 7 News I-team Dan Noyes, and now things appear to be moving.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm trapped in my apartment.
And I can't get up.
Now things appear to be moving, Dan.
Well, and Dan, we see these situations again and again. A serious problem persists. But then we start making...
I do like that this is the beat that Dan Noyes is on while there's not a whole lot of Shang Tao corruption news.
Well, give it time. There will be more.
But then we start making phone calls, and somehow the wheels start rolling.
I'm 80 and I'm feeling it. And meaning that I've got a number of issues going on.
80-year-old Richard Johnson can't walk as well as he used to.
The point is I don't have good control of my balance and all that stuff. I can fall.
He still wears the fall risk bracelet from his last hospital visit.
Oh, this poor guy.
Well, he can get down without a problem because if you fall down 6 flights of stairs, you get down pretty quick. But getting up, that's the issue.
Now,
Biden could fall upstairs.
That's true.
Now, Johnson tells me he feels trapped in his apartment because the building's passenger elevator has been out of service for more than a month. The freight elevator even longer.
And what's it like having that elevator out? Does it affect your life?
It affects my life every day. I don't enjoy walking up and down the stairwell 4 flights.
Johnson tells me some of his neighbors in wheelchairs haven't been able to leave their apartment for the 5 weeks that the elevator has been broken.
Holy cow!
It's like COVID's back.
This mother has to lug her baby, the laundry, and cart to the basement to the washing machine or outside to run errands.
How's it possible to get all of...
Yeah, apartment living's not what it's cracked up to be, kids.
Not in that building.
How's it possible to get all this down the stairs?
I had to carry it right now. So.
With her in it?
Yeah.
She put the baby in the laundry basket.
Well, under these circumstances, you have to get creative.
I had to carry it right now. So.
With her in it?
Yeah.
It's never been reliable in the 5 years I've lived here. We've had it where it's been down for 3 months or longer. It's I've been trapped in it 3 times myself.
Have you ever been trapped in an elevator before?
I have not. I imagine it would be quite scary.
It happened to me one time in Long Beach, and it was the longest 5 or 6 minutes of my life.
Phil Johnson lives on the 5th floor. In April, the personal injury attorney was heading to court to pick the jury for his first big case.
And I get stuck in between the 2nd and 3rd floor, and I'm start thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Public records show that the Oakland Fire...
That was not the first thing that PI lawyer was thinking.
No, it wasn't.
Public records show that the Oakland Fire Department has had to rescue tenants from stuck elevators at the building at least 15 times in the past year.
If you wonder why it's taking the fire department so long to respond to a fire, it's because they have to constantly be rescuing people from this elevator.
Okay, here's a prediction. If you ever get caught in an elevator like that, it's going to be when you have to go to the bathroom.
Establish a corner. Everyone get on the same page with that.
6 from the month of April alone. Johnson decided to use his skills as a lawyer to help the tenants.
And so the whole thing of what I like to do professionally is fight the bastards of the world that take money from everyday people.
And Randy was right.
Well, if he can go after this developer, good for him.
Fight the bastards of the world that take money from everyday people and don't give it back, in a fair exchange. So this totally animates me.
Johnson started.
He sounds like Jeff Daniels.
So this totally animates me.
A little bit. Who says that, by the way? This animates me.
Doesn't that sound like something Kamala Harris would say in an interview?
So this totally animates me.
Johnson started posting flyers instructing tenants how to file complaints asking for rent back. And he contacted the I-Team through our website.
I think that anybody would just be outraged at what's going on here.
I started investigating by speaking with the building's tenants.
It kind of really sucks for me because I have a bad knee. And it's hard for me to get down the stairs, and I have a tricycle, and I can't get it.
You know, when you've got a knee injury, you feel it in every single step.
Yeah, 6 flights of stairs doesn't sound like fun.
And it's hard for me to get down the stairs, and I have a tricycle, and I can't get it down the stairs.
You have a what?
Well, that's the woman with the baby, right?
I think that's a different woman. This is a woman with a tricycle.
But no baby.
And it's hard for me to get down the stairs, and I have a tricycle, and I can't get it down the stairs.
Then I went to the on-site manager's office.
What's an adult doing with a tricycle? Is her balance that bad she can't ride a normal bike?
Oakland is an interesting place.
Then I went to the on-site manager's office. California law says an apartment building with 16 or more units has to have a manager living at the property. But the residents tell me they haven't seen anyone there for months.
Well, they're not going there. That's a death trap.
Yeah, they don't want to walk up those 6 flights of stairs.
I left messages at every phone number posted for the apartment manager and staff, wrote to every email address, and haven't heard back. I called and emailed Mosser Company's CEO, Nevio Mosser, texted his personal cell phone, spoke with his former PR person, but no response. He has talked about the company mission in various podcasts and trade programs.
We're not just buying property. We are becoming stewards and members of a community.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yes, that's exactly what you're doing. You're one of these private equity firms buying up a whole bunch of land and then turning them into slums.
You know what, though? If Newsom can go on TV and say that the bullet train is a smashing success and that there's no crime problem and homelessness is under control, then why can't the slumlords say that their buildings are beautiful?
We're not just buying property. We are becoming stewards and members of a community.
Then I contacted the Oakland council member for District 3, Carol Fife.
Oh, no.
Oh, they're lucky enough to have her representing them, huh?
This is the DSA council member in Oakland.
Then I contacted the Oakland council member for District 3, Carol Fife. She met me at the building.
Mosser is one of the largest housing providers in Northern California. There's no excuse. So I'm going to...
But what are you doing anything about it? You're the city council person.
If only she knew someone in elected office.
Why does it take a PI lawyer who lives in the building to email Dan Noyes about it, for him to ask you about it, for you to do something about it? You telling me not one person in that building ever reached out to their local representative in government?
Because this is what happens when you have people in local office and state office who do nothing but hate on Donald Trump. There's only so many hours in the day. If that's what they spend their time doing, they're not doing their day job.
So I'm going to reach out to them directly, outside of what we're doing with the city attorney, to find out what exactly is the problem here so they can fix it for the tenants.
Maybe get some kind of pulley system on the outside window. Hoist them up.
I love the fact that she's acting like she'd never heard of this before until the news knocked on her door.
Fife points to Oakland's elevator maintenance and residential buildings ordinance that took effect in December. It mandates regular maintenance, repairs completed within 24 hours. If not, temporary housing for tenants up to $250 a night.
Well, if we don't enforce crime laws like street takeovers, what makes you think we enforce elevator laws?
No, we live in a state where it's anything goes and everyone knows it.
Damages up to $1,000 a day that an elevator is out of service, up to $2,500 a day for failing to relocate a person whose access has been restricted.
And so, how are you going to get them out of there? There's no elevator.
Yeah, you're going to have to carry all those people in the wheelchairs out, and then you're going to have to carry the wheelchair.
And so what's next?
What's next is I'm talking to our city attorney about what we can do to support this building to make sure that residents have access to their elevator.
City.
Such a reliable government there in Oakland.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing about it? Well, I'm going to kick the can down to the next office in the building.
You have constituents, senior citizens, and the disabled who are trapped in a building, and that's the best she can do.
This Carol Fife is totally useless. These people would be better off with Barney Fife.
City Attorney Ryan Richardson declined an interview, but his office released a statement saying he's aware of these concerning reports and is actively investigating this issue.
How long? Dan Noyes put this story together in a couple days. How long does it take you to investigate it?
Oh, they're getting right on it, though, Randy.
After all our phone calls, texts, and emails to the company, Mosser sent an email to the tenants saying the elevator would be fixed by this past weekend, but it didn't happen.
Of course. Let me guess. They're blaming COVID.
Then they sent another email to say it will be fixed sometime this week. I'll keep you up to date on all this, the status of the elevator, and possible action by the city attorney.
I hope they're at least sending elevator repair people.
Right.
Someone came by last week and said, we don't have the parts yet to fix it. Maybe next week.
I sure hope none of those tenants ran out of TP.
Run out of TP? They probably ran out of food, maybe medication.
And as you said, literally, some people trapped in there can't leave.
This is urgent. You know, it ought to be fixed within 24 hours. Sure, of course. And people stuck in their homes up on the 5th floor and they can't get out.
It's awful.
All right. Thanks, Dan, very much.
Well, there is yet another story in our recurring segment, Oakland or refugee camp.
And I'm sure from the point of view of the city attorney's office, what the owner is doing is sufficient because they're sending in the vendor, and the vendor said, "Oh, we don't have the part, so we'll be right on this sometime next week." What are you going to do? If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
We got quite a few emails of people that have been stuck in elevators in the past. Mary writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. I was stuck once in an elevator while going to work. We were told to sit on the floor in case the elevator drops. There was also a guy who kept snapping his chewing gum, driving me nuts. After about a half hour, we were set free, and the management company sent us a fruit basket. That'll do it. Ed writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Hi, guys. I was stuck in an elevator once for about an hour, but it was cool because it was 4:30 and I was working, so I got overtime for sitting in the elevator.
There you go. Clean it up at the office.
Nicholas writes in, if you think that's bad, while I was doing construction at Riverside Community Hospital, the staff elevators would get stuck all the time. I was once stuck in an elevator with a doctor, a nurse, a hot nurse, 2 medical students, and a corpse.
Ooh.
It was
I hope the AC was working.
It was a surprisingly good time. When the doors opened, we were about 4 feet lower than the floor, and I had to help everyone, including the stretcher, with the corpse, get out.
That does not seem like fun.
Also, thank you so much to everyone that wrote in, letting us know what a tricycle is for handicapped people. It's like a wheelchair with a steering wheel.
Okay, why don't they call it something different then?
Good point.
Because you think that it's something that a child would drive.
Could have been.
Let's go to Lee and Laverne. Lee, hello.
A corpse? Oh, my goodness. All right, I should be leading with Aerosmith, Loving an Elevator, but I'm going to tell you, 6 years old, Palm Springs, first family vacation. I accidentally hit the emergency door lock thing. And I was in there for 30 minutes. And I was crying. My sister was crying. They got us out of there. So fast forward, now I'm watching Speed, the movie with Bullock, and the elevator scene at the beginning. And I had already gotten over my phobia with that, but that thing sent me way back. And then fast forward to working on the 18th floor on Wilshire across from the tour pits at 100.3 The Sound. And I'd take cigarette breaks downstairs. Well, one time, the elevators weren't working, and I had to run 18 floors up the stairs. You think I was a little out of breath there?
It's tough on a smoker's lungs.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you for the call. I was in Philadelphia one time. Come to think of it, this happened in Pittsburgh, too. And they get real bad rainstorms there, and it knocks the power out. I was staying on the 18th floor, and I would have to go up and down those stairs every time I had to leave the hotel. I was there for a family wedding. By the time I got down, I was dripping with sweat, and every inch of my clothes, the suit that I was wearing to the wedding, was also drenched in sweat.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I didn't look good in those pictures. We got a woman on a tricycle, and we've got a burglar on a scooter.
Whipped out the exact same scooter, exact same duffel bag with the exact same name on it, and took off because he goes and robs and then comes back so they don't get his car, his license plate. So we sat and waited for him, and then he decided to get a little testy, and he learned the lesson the hard way.
I love the description.
Vigilante justice is here in Southern California because the residents feel abandoned by their local government.
Learn the lesson the hard way.
Yeah, so you came out, several residents with you. We saw some of your injuries in the video. Walk me through what happened. What'd you do to this guy?
So when I came around the back of the car, when he was coming up to fold up his scooter to put it in, I told him, I was like, oh, you like to steal our mail? He didn't. I honestly just thought he was going to be like, I'm sorry, here's the mail, because that's 90% of the time they don't want to fight. Well, Shrek decided he wanted to charge me, and...
Apparently he's a big guy. So
this guy does have a way with words.
Called him Shrek.
Well, Shrek decided he wanted to charge me, and he paid the price. We wrestled for a bit. A few of the other people were trying to help grab the keys because he was getting into his car. At one night, he pulled out a knife. He bit me one point.
Oh, my.
Wow, this guy really didn't want to be dragged downtown.
Bit me one point. I gouged him in the eyes to make him stop biting me. Well, don't bite me.
It's not exactly Fraser Ali, but the adrenaline was flowing.
No, now it sounds like WWE Raw.
Woo! Gouge him in the eyes and make him stop biting me. Well, don't bite me.
That's good advice.
I think I need that. I mean, when are you going to get a description so perfect like that? I'm going to call this Gouge Eyes, Don't Bite Me. I'll see you in December, Clip.
And when he whipped out the knife, that's when I knew I had to get out of there because it could end very badly very quickly. So then I took the bat and I bashed his windshield so he couldn't drive anywhere.
Well, when plan A doesn't work out, move on to plan B.
You want my DWP bill that bad? No windshield for you.
Wow. And after all that, this guy still got away taking off on a scooter.
He was a big dude. I mean, he was like 6'4", 250. It took three of us to try and hold him down, and he ended up getting off on the scooter. If he didn't have the scooter, he wouldn't have been able to hobble away.
So
must be a heavy-duty scooter.
Yeah, to carry that much weight.
So we've talked to so many residents here in this neighborhood, frustrated as you are about what's been going on. What's your message to the LAPD? Because this has been happening for quite a while.
It's not really to the LAPD because I know they're doing only what they can with their hands tied.
He knows what's going on.
This guy might be a listener to the show.
The only message I want is to everybody else who wants to steal from this street, watch out, because you never know. You might have some concerned citizens tracking you down.
You think this guy will be back?
I hope not, but if he does, be a different story.
Yeah, you'll be ready. All right, thanks, Tim, for talking to us. We appreciate it.
So that was in the middle of the week. A few days ago, this guy got arrested. And Johnny, what do you know? It's not his first time at the dance.
You don't say.
Let's reopen that blotter.
If the cashier is dummy.
Questions?
And for this one, we're going to ABC 7 Eyewitness News, and we might even have some Mark Brown.
Steal mail? You like to steal mail? Yeah? You like to steal mail? Huh? 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 Do you like to steal mail?
That sounds like a guy who is at his wit's end.
This is what the residents have to deal with now.
Steal mail? You like to steal mail? Yeah? You like to steal mail? Huh? 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 Do you like to steal mail?
It's video that's gone viral. Valley Vigilantes.
Now there is some Mark Brown alliteration.
It wouldn't be a Mark Brown report without the alliteration.
Viral Valley Vigilantes.
It's video that's gone viral. Valley Vigilantes pepper spraying and tackling a suspected mail thief. The man in this video is now under arrest. And tonight we're learning he's no stranger to law enforcement. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo live in Studio City with the disturbing new details on just who this man is. Tim.
Once again, I just have to point out how stupid it is the way we name things in Los Angeles. Studio City, not a city.
Nope, a neighborhood in Los Angeles.
And, Mark, those previous arrests are for similar types of crimes, felony arrests for stolen identity, for burglary, for possession of stolen property. Obviously, to commit the newer crimes this last week, he had to be out of jail. And people in this neighborhood, while happy he is now under arrest, are worried he will get out soon and commit more crimes.
Because that's the California way.
How much do you want to bet that this guy will be back in that neighborhood stealing more mail the moment they let him out?
Maybe he'll pass that building. If he knows what's good for him. He got some actual consequences that time.
What's with the mail in that building where it's so valuable that he's willing to go back 4 times in a row?
What's up, buddy? You like to steal mail? You like to steal mail? Yeah? You like to steal mail? Huh? Huh?
Days after an alleged mail thief was taken down in the middle of a Studio City street by a fed-up resident, you'd think there'd be a giant sigh of relief in the neighborhood where he was caught on camera repeatedly targeting.
He was stealing whatever he could get his hands on. And when you push us to a point, what do you expect us to do?
That's what's going to happen.
It's too bad the vigilante wasn't Cliff Clavin with a Louisville Slugger.
But as the violent video went viral...
Good job.
They're all getting a piece of the alliteration action.
But as the violent video went viral, word spread just as quickly about the 42-year-old suspect's criminal history.
Wait a second. I thought people age out of crime.
That's right. And I thought that we now rehabilitate them like they do in Northern Europe.
And the modest $80,000 bail, which is considered far too low by many here, including Tim Bremer, the now bruised and bandaged man who took him down.
Bruised and bandaged. Once again, great alliteration in this story.
Boy, that must be part of just what they do at ABC7.
But for that guy's track record, for how much thieving he's been doing over the years, the identity thieves, everything of it, he's got to put up, what, $8,000 Aladdin bail bonds and he's out?
Yeah, that's not enough.
Including Tim Bremer, the now bruised and bandaged man who took him down.
Why not make an example of this guy when he has a...
Shouldn't mail thief be a federal crime?
You would think so. You would hope so, because if Bill Asaley was the one prosecuting him, this guy may go to prison for a while.
Not with LA's grand juries.
That's true.
Why not make an example of this guy when he has a rap sheet? It's not his first time. It's not his second.
The suspect, Sarkis Urelian, in just the last 3 years, has multiple felony arrests, including for identity theft, burglary, and receiving stolen property. While Urelian is still in jail for this latest arrest, he only needs to post $8,000 to get out. Those at the many apartment complexes here who have had their identities stolen are tired of seeing the same people commit crimes only to be let out to do it again.
This guy needs to find a job. Bottom line, he needs to find something else to do with his time.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
Nope, he's going to be back to stealing mail.
It's not just stolen packages, money, or identities. Bremer also had something more personal stolen, a letter to him written by a friend who took his own life.
Yikes.
This is the problem with these kinds of crimes. You say, oh, it's only a small crime. Don't be too harsh with the guy. But you commit a crime like this and you get caught and somehow you're willing to pull a knife on the person. Or if you get away with it for a long enough period of time, you say, you know what? I can do anything I want, and you up the ante.
When I found out he stole something that I can never get back, answers I'll never have, reasons why my friend ended up killing himself, I lost every bit of composure I had.
Help him out, dude.
Bremer says since his vigilante video has made the rounds, he's been contacted by people from Sherman Oaks to Glendale about a suspect matching Urelian's description, stealing their mail. He's urging them to contact
all the neighborhood associations. They're getting together. Hey, so what did you guys do? How can we do this?
Well, this guy, I'm sure, hits multiple neighborhoods because why not? If you're not being caught, and when you are caught, nothing happens to you, you have nothing to lose.
He's urging them to contact LAPD and hopes some of those stolen items can be returned.
Let them know what they stole from you. Make sure there's pictures so they can prove that it's yours so that if they find it there, you can get it back and have some peace of mind. I don't think I'm going to...
How are you going to have pictures of your stolen mail?
Yeah, you're not going to have pictures of your stolen mail. I guess if you subscribe to that service from the post office where they send you a picture of what's going to be in your mailbox every day, you would have the pictures. But if you don't subscribe to that service, you're out of luck.
I don't think I'm going to find mine. I think mine was just thrown out.
Yeah.
So.
Because there was no value to him.
No.
But to you, it's everything.
More than everything.
The LAPD did execute a search warrant at that suspect's home yesterday. They said evidence related to crimes was recovered. They wouldn't say exactly what they recovered, but hopefully those items will get back to their rightful owners. We're live tonight in Studio City. Tim Caputo, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Tim, thank you.
So there you go. Turns out the mail thief in Studio City has a long rap sheet. Is anybody surprised?
And he's probably stealing the mail in Glendale, too. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Anthony in Encino. Anthony, hello.
Hi. Hey, John, this is Anthony. Well, one real quick thing. I want to apologize for my last call. I pushed back on you about something that I misunderstood, so I want to apologize for that. Also, what do you think about our gubernatorial options to maybe start getting things fixed from the top in the state? I'm big on Steve Hilton.
Yeah, if the election were today, my guess is I vote for Steve Hilton. But I would assume that more candidates are going to get in the race and some will drop out. Last week, Eleni Kounalakis, the lieutenant governor, dropped out. That surprised me because I thought she would be sitting in the catbird seat with Kamala Harris not in the race, but something motivated her to get out of the race. There's rumors that Rick Caruso is considering jumping in the race. There are rumors that Grant Cardone, who's a billionaire Republican and very close to President Trump, is considering jumping in the race, and maybe some others too. So maybe in a couple of months, we'll have a better idea as to what the field looks like or what your ballot will look like when we vote. I think it's in June of next year. So we'll be able to answer more of those questions then. But, yeah, Steve Hilton looks like a good candidate right now. He's polling in second place, which means if the election were today, he and Katie Porter would make it onto the November ballot. He would be a heavy underdog in that scenario, akin to what happened with Adam Schiff and Steve Garvey. But I think you'd see a lot more life in Steve Hilton than what you saw in Steve Garvey.
Well, I'll tell you, things are so bad. How bad do things have to get in this state for people to open their eyes? Because it all goes back to the people.
No kidding. Thank you for the call, sir. Let's go to Vince in Orange. Vince, hello.
Hey there. Thank you for taking my call. I just have a question. Like, who made this poll? Like, where do they find the Martians to respond to Katie Porter, and say that she was really going to be a front runner? That's what kind of boggles my mind. Who even made the poll and how they got people to respond to her?
Well, my guess is
in California,
she has the highest name ID because she just spent tens of millions of dollars promoting herself as a candidate for U.S. Senate. So the results of that poll are more of a function of which name do you know than who do you think has the answers for the state.
Got it. Understood. Yeah, because with the peanut brain and that gray matter of hers, I'm not sure she's really going to move any needles. But thank you for the insight. I was curious about the poll. Thanks as always for the info you provide.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. Let's go to Mary in San Francisco. Mary, hello.
Hi, I wanted to talk to you about the giant tricycles. My parents are now deceased, but when they had retired and went to Florida, they had those giant tricycles. No, you don't have to be disabled. Just picture something with a big giant wheel in the front, two giant wheels in the back with baskets in between, and plus they have speeds. They used to be able to keep up with myself on a regular bicycle. I used to go down there and visit every 2 years when we had family reunions. It was such a laugh, and people all over Florida used to have races on those things, the older adults.
I love that. And I guess lugging one of those up 6 flights of stairs would not be fun.
No, you have to live where the older people lived, where my parents lived. They had like all one floor. You know, it was all one floor, whether you lived, first they tried, apartments for elderly. Later on, Pop moved to a trailer park, but it was all one floor, no 6 flights or any of that stuff. And up in Sonoma County, same thing. If you live like in a complex that's
I'm sure they're popular all over, but Florida probably has more of those sales than any other state in the union. Maybe they'll have a Tour de France in those tricycles.
We gotta go!
All right, 1 more hour coming up.